what we got is we got a plate. The plate is 18 inches, 1.5 feet by 3 feet. And it's sitting on the concrete ramp, or there's a hole underneath it. And we just gotta drill a couple holes to fasten this plate to the concrete with Tapcons, or with whatever you're gonna tell them.
What's holding the plate down now?
Wait, it's underwater, it's just got put there the other day.
It's part of something bigger?
No,
What's
covering the
under the
hole.
plate?
Oh,
What's under the plate, like a rock or a hunk of concrete?
hole.
There's brand new ramp going down through, and the village's storm sewer outlet came up right in the corner of it, so they had to cut a small little corner out of the brand new ramp. It's about that wide, like I said, it's not even 18 inches, by about that long. And we just gotta, so somebody doesn't put the tire in it, on a trailer, we gotta cover it with a steel plate or a grate. He's got a steel plate with a bunch of holes in it, a big piece of 1/2 inch.
Isn't that what you gotta do?
I had Gary Plants down there an hour and a half ago looking at it.
Chris,
He kinda backed out of it because it's 18 inches of water where you gotta drill the hole.
Chris Hunt.
And the only way he could do it is just keep welding on to a drill bit and then keep rig something else.
So you don't need to drill into the steel, you need to drill what's underneath.
Well,
into the
that was
concrete.
my question too, because you buy Tapcons, some of the Tapcons I've used, they go into the concrete themselves. Right?
What are they trying to attach it to? The concrete ramp?
The ramp.
Oh, okay,
It's bigger than the hole.
okay, and the piece of steel has got holes in it already.
Yeah, it's got holes for water to go through it, and it's got holes to mount it too.
So they have things that'll go right into the concrete without drilling the concrete?
Yeah,
They do, right?
there's stuff
Yeah.
out there, but
Yeah.
you still gotta drive them.
Yeah.
And if it's 18 inches underwater,
Need a real long bit.
long better in pneumatic.
This is on, it's just on that funny camera angle, again,
Okay,
I can't change it,
Okay.
I don't know what the hell the deal is,
so you got it on.
yeah.
Yep. Okay, we'll call the town board meeting to order. Everybody please stand for the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You're not on.
Turn that stuff off. Okay, anybody have a chance to look at the meeting minutes for the 19th?
I didn't.
I haven't.
I don't know.
We can, you have? No.
No.
So we'll put that till the next meeting, okay? Alex Bay Rising, everybody's got the, resolution. I think you saw the comments or whatever. Andy, Silver looked at it. I think there's, I think one of my discussions with him was, I was worried about any commitments type of thing.
Right.
He feels that this is general enough to do what we need to do.
But this,
So the right of way
yeah, what is that?
is not defined by.
Yeah, what does that mean? Are we giving a right of way on town property?
Yes.
Right. But there's not a meets and bounds description.
Well, it doesn't
So
even, what property, where?
It's weird signing these things without a little bit more specification, in my opinion. It sounds like Andy's okay with a generalization, just to kind of move this thing forward.
Right.
But I don't know if I'm comfortable
Yeah.
with that. I don't know how anyone else feels. I mean, one of the things I said in my email too about number 3 is,
I think one of my thoughts were about that, cause I've been thinking of the same thing all along. I mean, I've been thinking about the ingress and egress, the 2 entrances, the parking, the shared parking, all this stuff that is nothing but just mentioned, okay? Obviously, there's no agreements, there's nothing on paper. I think that stuff is gonna have to, a lot of stuff is gonna have to follow this and be specific, right? That's when, if we don't like it or we don't agree with it, we don't go. Those are my thoughts.
That's kind of like number 6. Down the line, and that sounds like, more, yeah, this is more generalities. I understand what Sean's saying too, because when you're agreeing to something, but it's kind of nebulous. It's almost like intent, but not binding.
okay.
That's what my,
Yeah.
I'm just, if I were them, would I want something a little more concrete? But I don't think we're comfortable giving anything more concrete.
What does this do for them?
What?
Why do they need this?
Because he needs it for some of the stuff he's applying for and for
Grant
support.
proposals and stuff.
I mean, I think, and you see it here, there's a big deal as far as partnering with the township.
Why don't they just say that? Why do they say all this other stuff?
This was put together by the firm that is doing the work for Alan Fricola, that has done other projects that have gotten support, and I think this is what they felt they need to start their application process.
Number 2, this right of way shall be exclusive and shall exist for 5 years. So, we don't know what that is, but that's a specific term, and we don't even know what that is. I mean,
Right.
just to support something like that blindly
What, 5 years?
is odd.
I mean,
The whole thing's odd, and I'm just
isn't-
not that comfortable with
I don't
it, to
either.
be
isn't
honest.
a right of way an actual, as you said, Ronnie, isn't it an actual?
Well, right away is usually described by meets and bounds
Meets and bounds
description,
description.
so it's very, okay, here's where it is.
I'm dealing with a right-of-way issue with over in Hammond right now, it's very descriptive.
'Cause
I-
they keep talking about this right of way, and yet the right of way is not defined. Number 1 talks about the right of way. Number 2 talks about the right of way.
4 talks about it.
With a term,
Over and over.
you know.
And then
I mean, I
4
thought about, what about replacing that word right of way with support or something that fits in there?
That's what I'm saying, what is the point of this? If they're looking for some support, why don't they just say that?
That's a right
Yeah.
of way.
'Cause number 4, it says within the right of way. it says,
Town of
"Shall commit to
Alexandria
work-"
hereby supports Alexandria Bay Rising to develop recreational facilities within the town.
I understand they kinda sent this over as a guideline, but what's wrong with us creating our own letter saying that the town of Alexandria is familiar that Alexandria Bay Rising wants to participate in some development up on our property? Let this letter be an acknowledgement that we probably support their objective. You know, this is weird, this is odd,
My guess is they wanna go apply for a grant.
Okay,
And they say, is the town of Alexandria on board with this? So, yeah, here's a resolution. But I agree with you, the wording, I'm not comfortable with either.
no, it's just, it's odd.
We wanna help them, but it talks about this right of way. What is it? There's no like addendum A where
We
there's
get all
a,
kinds of requests from groups seeking our support, and there's far less detail than this. It's basically, we say we support you and your efforts to do whatever you're
Right.
proposing to do, and that's the end of it.
You're right, they're most
Yeah.
likely seeking out, I mean, probably even their financing may have
well,
some,
yeah.
all of that.
Well, I would think if it comes to financing, they're gonna want something real specific.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And this is not specific, but it's vague enough to keep us uncomfortable,
Yeah.
which is not good.
can we circulate this through email and just toss some ideas back to
Yeah.
relay back to Andy maybe?
Yeah.
I mean, we can be specific about the parts we don't like, the biggest thing's this right away thing probably, and I don't know what everyone else feels like.
I agree, it should be something that we create,
Yeah, I think we
Yeah.
should create it.
but the only way, it almost.
And he actually had said a couple times that they were gonna be sending us something out as a guideline. So,
Is that what
I
this
mean,
was?
this is talking about the different areas that he thinks that we need to address, I would say. But I understand what you're saying about creating our own document, and we'll go from there.
I mean, in an ideal situation, if they gave us something that we had no problem with at all, then we didn't spend a nickel on it, creating it, that's a good deal.
Yeah.
But this is not something that we're real comfortable with. But at the same time, we wanna help them. We wanna help them, do what we can, but
Yeah.
not, I
So,
don't know what's going on.
I say that we get in an email deal with all of us, and we pass some thoughts back and forth about what we got, and come up with a document. We need to adjourn this meeting till next Wednesday at 4 o'clock for Rob Campany, for a brief deal.
This Friday? You said Friday?
Next Wednesday, I think.
Wednesday, okay,
Yeah, a week from today at 4 o'clock,
okay.
which we'll do at the end of the meeting, but, and that's to form that district. You didn't get the paperwork
The
done.
reform the Route 12
Yep.
sewer,
Yep.
okay.
I might be here.
Okay, so we'll say hold on that, number one, and we'll work on that, everybody?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, I'm gonna send some stuff to y'all. I'm gonna take a few of these sentences and change a few words. I definitely don't like the word right away.
Well, contractual,
Public-private
it kinda insinuates something. You could cut this into, like, turn it like a one paragraph.
Well, number 7, we're jointly appointing a project manager?
Why would we do that?
This is such a, it's odd that such
I
a
think-
general format has some of these just oddly specific items
Yeah.
within them, you know what I
I
mean?
mean, in a project manager, what would the town have involved with? The town would have, in my opinion, the town would have one thing involved, and that would be an inspection or a monitoring of what they do.
Yeah,
But
That's it.
why is it a joint, well, it sounds like it's a joint, it says, shall appoint a project manager to oversee implementation, et cetera,
including the design, construction, and the maintenance.
that's their employee, not ours.
Is this a paid position?
What's that?
Is this a paid position?
I'd say about 99.9% chance that it is, yeah.
From us?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is all part of this uncomfortable feeling deal.
I think it's pretty clear on their part that the town isn't gonna spend any money on doing anything here.
I don't know, it says a joint one.
We need to protect ourselves on paper with that.
I think is what somebody asked earlier, what is it they need this to accomplish? And if Andy could be told that, what it is they're trying to accomplish, then Andy could come up with something real straightforward.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm sure they're looking for a right of way across the property for their driveway.
Yeah, but see, that,
Town will-
that-
Yeah, but
that's
they
a
don't even
detail for
know,
later.
do we know where the land's where the actual parcel is?
Exactly.
I
No,
mean,
we don't.
seems like we got the cart in front of the horse here, it's like,
Yeah,
I thought this was all like kinda conceptual at
Well, this
this time.
sounds to me like they're going to some lending agencies and they would like to be able to say, hey, the
Yeah.
town of Alexandria
Is
is
on board.
supporting our efforts.
Yeah.
But this goes into areas that are past that,
Yeah,
something down the
project
road.
manager, yeah.
Like the right of way, that's,
so their original
that's the
email
details
was,
down the road.
here is the proposed resolution. It is of course a working document and should be viewed as a starting point for negotiations.
yeah,
Right,
well, that opens the door, so
That opens,
yeah, yeah.
so we're gonna send our negotiations. We'll put them together and tell them what we think.
But the thing is, Andy can't really draft anything unless he knows who, in other words, this is meant for somebody else to read. This is meant for a third party to read. But not knowing who that third party is, or what they're asking of that third party, you don't know how to word it. Cause I'm that third party, if you're talking about right away, it's like, okay, where? Yeah,
yeah,
I don't know, it's
Okay.
just strange.
it's strange. I agree.
Move on to the next one, number 2, ABCIA Community Enhancement Dollars. Last year, we gave ABCA $5,000 from our Community Enhancement, Fund, towards their efforts and everything they did downtown, and they're asking again, for that same donation, and they have their fundraiser on May 10th at Cavalier Steakhouse, and that's the event that we gave them their donation last year, so they'd like to know something by then of where we stand.
It's part of our budget.
We budgeted it, didn't we?
I believe we did.
Yeah.
That's pretty simple then.
So I'll make a motion that
I'll
we
second it.
donate 5,000 to ABCIA
From our previously budgeted line item.
What's that?
from
From
our,
our previously budgeted line item.
Yeah, well,
This is not a new,
it's community enhancement line item,
okay.
but I think that's
part of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
okay.
This isn't a new expense. is
No,
what I'm
Motion
getting
by
at.
Sean,
I'll second.
second by Gene, any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, all those opposed, none. Cameras at the brush pit, and new signage.
I think
Cameras
we
at
can roll
Goose Bay, and new
forward.
signage, commercial license brush pit. So, cameras at the brush pit. I've called Travis Morgia, Bruce Morgia's son, and I've called, I sent an email to, Castle Cable, or to Citizens Telephone, I'm sorry, asking for price quotes, and asking to, you know, RFP. Two situations at both of these places, there's no electric and no internet.
Can we go to like an Arlo system that doesn't need that?
That's what I suggested, because I have one myself that I put at the storage building, because I didn't wanna do internet, so it's solar.
You have like Spy Point, right?
It's solar with battery backup. I'm sorry, I have what?
Spy Point,
That's like a game, that's more of a game trail. I don't know, I use
Right.
5.2, that takes pictures.
well, see, that's what I'm,
But in Arlo, you can play back.
Yeah,
but we need something that, of quality, that's good enough that we can
Read
use
the
also
license
for
plate.
enforcement.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it'd be good to have something real time as well that we could,
Well, Gene, I think, made reference to tying it to someone's phone.
Yep.
yeah.
That way, no worries.
See, we have
Yeah.
we
It
have,
might be annoying for someone because like,
we have
I have
a
a
couple,
couple.
we have a
I
couple of
think
those Spy Point cameras now. We have them installed, and we could take those down there and tie them to a phone for now, because to get prices and stuff we're gonna be, before somebody comes and puts this up, it's gonna be a while.
what's the Arlo?
It's just a brand of a outdoor camera system, but it doesn't need internet
you can go
power.
to Best Buy.
Solar based and
How
pop it
does it
on,
communicate though with,
cellular service.
okay,
Yeah, but you go to Best Buy, they sell them.
See, the system that I used, I had to go to T-Mobile, and I had to buy a card that I put in my camera,
A data card, yeah,
communication card,
okay.
okay, besides the data card.
you got a SIM card, that sort of thing?
It's similar to that, I
Okay.
think.
Yeah, like I said, yeah, exactly, that's what it is. It's gonna have a number, and it's gonna have it's
Yeah.
gonna give you the communication that you get with a cell phone,
Yeah.
same deal. But I'd like to see what these two people have to offer. I'm sure there's other stuff out there.
Yeah.
There's probably fancy stuff out there, expensive stuff out there, you know.
When you say there's no power out there,
Power won't buy.
we could have power, I mean, it's not an issue as far as that goes.
Yeah, and you gotta put a service in, right, Gene?
Well,
So you put a service in, and then you put cameras in.
I saw
wait,
a
wait.
building there if you do that.
At the town barn, there's a camera out on the pole out by the road.
Yeah.
Where does it get power from?
One of them is the citizen camera.
Right.
And I'm not sure where that one gets its power from. There's another one that's part of our stat system. And it gets its power, yeah, it gets its power through the internet line. Sometimes some of them do if they don't draw much power.
So
Because we have an internet line, because they had to run the internet line to the pole.
So Castle Cable runs up that road, that Bailey
I think so, I think so,
So, do
Yeah.
that.
yeah.
I guess we'll find out from them because
They'll know, right?
Yeah,
you've already called them, right, Brent?
I sent them an email,
Okay.
yeah.
So we could use the Spy Points for now until we get more information?
Do you know whatever went on with the bid that we accepted from Citizens? Are they putting the fire system in? Is it in?
I believe they're gonna. I don't know if it's in, I'll find out.
There was a situation with that where there was the back building was not in the quote,
Mm-hmm.
and we didn't know that till after, so we didn't accept the back building quote. We accepted the main building quote.
But, this 3 and 4 are basically the same topic.
Yeah, it's really, yeah. Yep.
Cameras like Goose Bay too, you wanna do that same thing?
I mean, we don't,
Then whatever we do for one, we should do.
let's see what the money number is here before we go spending
Doesn't cost anything to get a
$4,000 at each place, you know,
Yeah.
$5,000 at each place. I don't wanna spend all kinds of money for that Goose Bay thing. I don't have a problem keeping an eye on it. The guys are down there mowing on a regular basis. We got people in and out of there
Okay.
to start, you know.
Well, it could, put it this way, if it becomes a problem, we could spend some money on it
But it doesn't cost anything to get an estimate.
No.
Nope,
No,
we have number 5.
Yep.
Yeah, let's talk about that. As everybody knows, there's a lot of commercial usage down there. If we're gonna bill for commercial usage, this is just my thoughts, is that it's town of Alexandria trees that have to go there. We can't have people cutting Clayton trees and a commercial guy got a license permit to dump them here and come here and fill them, do you think?
I mean, the way it is right now, I can take a load of stuff down there and get rid of it, but I can't have St. Lawrence Landscaping take the exact same load there.
But that is happening, they are doing it, and when we had a situation with that about 2 years ago here, maybe 3, people were upset that they were hiring a company on their own to cut their stuff in their yard in town of Alexandria, and they couldn't put it in town of Alexandria pit.
That's what I'm saying, same stuff.
And I can't blame them.
Yeah, cause it's a nice service for the town taxpayers, but it's not a regional brush pit.
I mean, and I don't think we wanna go the direction that we went with the transfer site, and that is an out-of-town permit. And my theory there is that,
Know how you'll ever
why fill
control
the
it.
thing up in 10 years when it could last us 30 or 40 years, you know?
Right, yeah, I think the transfer site is a whole different animal. Got somebody there anyway, and actually that helps cut down our costs.
So, what does everybody think?
I don't know, I know it's an issue. I see a couple local contractors all the time, they're
Yep.
dumping loads and loads of it,
Yep.
so.
As long as they
I just don't know
get
where,
far enough off
I
the
don't know
road.
where it's coming from. That's a problem.
They never back
It
up.
never is.
never.
Never what?
No one's ever off the road when they dump. They pull from here to the other side of the table away and
I think,
drop it.
so I had a lady call me last weekend that was there, and actually Sandy and I talked about it too, the weekend before. She was there and actually she took a picture. She was standing there, she was back and she was off the road a little bit, but not very far, okay? And she's standing there and she's standing in the mud and it was like this, and it was slippery. She didn't wanna back it further. Our problem is this, you know, and we addressed that a bunch of years ago, and we put 10 or...
She sent you a picture? She sent you a picture? Of
Yes.
her there?
Yeah.
Can I see the picture? Cause it's
How
not,
much of a drop off is there?
it's not that severe.
Maybe she was
it's
back,
kinda one of
maybe she was
these,
back in there a little
and
bit.
then it tapers right to a flat part unless she was looking over the edge.
That's way back though.
But your first 25 feet, I mean, that's a nice little,
She was off a little
When
bit.
it's dry,
She was,
it's
she was
no
to
big
the,
issue.
if you go to the right, where the dozer is,
Yeah,
it's a lot better.
well, no, it's pitched more up. So like the dozer kinda comes up and then backs up.
Yeah.
But if you go just 20 feet this way for your whole entryway, it's not that severe, so.
I was gonna say,
I'm just saying, I'm surprised that's really an issue.
You get some people that just aren't confident, and then other times you go there when it's like wet, you can get,
Yeah,
but you're right, it's not that bad. But what's bad is when people don't go far enough back.
that's the bad part, yeah. I mean, I just rammed right over a whole
I
pile
don't know
2
who it
weeks
is and
ago.
what the number is.
Well, I always try to
Trailer
find
and
a
truck.
hole and work my way through.
Yeah, it's difficult, I mean, it's
Yep.
just always loaded up right by the front.
But like the commercial thing, if they would go all the way back and dump their loads, happy trails.
isn't that the area you're talking about?
Yeah, that's it, so like where
Flat.
that sign is like 12 feet from the shoulder of the road. Like what
Right.
you see there is from the shoulder of the road, it's quite
Yeah,
flat.
they can back up past the sign, but they don't.
Yeah.
They just right straight up, right off the edge of the road.
Yeah, and that one also kinda shows
That shows the entire landscape.
yeah, that's not bad.
Not at all.
I tried to when I took those pictures.
Yeah,
I can't.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I say, it looks like your white pickup truck.
It is.
It's probably not important, Brent,
Yeah.
I guess what I'm
Um,
saying is I think that's a pretty poor excuse if she didn't feel safe in like what Mike said, if it was wet or muddy or stuff like, then you're probably worried about getting stuck. That's more legitimate, I think, than the slope, but, this commercial deal, I don't.
So our
Some of
sign,
these,
our
some of
sign
these guys
down
are
there,
taxpayers here, right?
I'm sorry?
Some of these local guys are taxpayers.
Yeah, personally, I'd like to see commercial people, whatever, have a commercial license or whatever, to use it with this, and when they sign for it, strictly for work done in the town of Alexandria. And that's on them, and of course, that's no good until you have the cameras, and we can, you know, cause somebody's gonna say, well, so-and-so's dumping there, and it's from XYZ, well, we gotta be able to prove they were dumping there. And hopefully the commercial guys are not gonna wanna jeopardize losing that license by violating, all we're asking is, town of
It's pretty
Alexandria.
valuable to those commercial guys,
I would think so.
extremely.
And in fact, it's valuable to the town residents, because otherwise, the commercial guy's gotta charge that much more to the town resident to haul it somewhere else. And all, cause all the costs are gonna be borne by the local
Who
taxpayer.
knows where, yeah.
Yeah,
At least we have some control over where it gets dumped,
yeah,
cause they could end up dumping it and
so I'm
Let's talk
fine,
about the license a little
I'm
bit.
fine with number 5.
About a permit or a license.
Yeah.
Obviously, it would be probably talking about it per year. I guess one of the other things I thought about was, what are the hours, when is that pit open? Obviously, when there's snowbanks on the side of the road, it's not open.
I think it says right on the sign, doesn't it?
Does he plow the snowbanks away? He doesn't, does he?
No. In the wintertime, it really doesn't get used,
No.
cause you just can't get in there, which is fine, takes care of itself.
I just think about when we have a windstorm, you know, but I guess we won't worry about that part of it, we'll talk about license.
I think we ought to wait and get these cameras in, kinda see what's actually happening, and then kinda go from there.
And the camera.
Anybody else?
System from Castle has not gone in yet, cause we never gave the green light for it to go in. Because we stopped it, cause it didn't include the back barn.
Oh.
So nothing has happened with it yet.
So we just need a number on the back barn.
And we can take care of it next Friday, or Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Excuse me, I keep saying Friday,
At 4.
at 4, right. I told my wife, yeah, it'll be short meeting, she says, you gotta stop saying that.
Okay, it's 4:30.
I think everyone's.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, I think we should probably move ahead with that. And your question's what's the dollar amount?
Which part of it are you talking about?
Commercial
The
license.
The license, commercial license?
I think it'd be nominal, I mean, shouldn't be a huge thing, the biggest thing is making it something that's binding so that they abide by it, you know?
I think that's, yeah, we start
50
there
bucks,
probably, right?
$50, $100, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think more than that for the amount it costs us to push that back from the commercial. You're talking 3 or 4 days a week pushing back commercial stuff.
Is it gonna change the volume that's going in there?
No, but it will offset our costs coming out for fuel,
Yeah.
Maintenance, the guy's time over there, everything that we're putting out of general aid for doing it.
Yeah,
It's different when it's just the taxpayers and there's 8 or 10 loads off of pickup trucks or little dump trailers. You get these commercial guys come in, they plug it in a day. I've seen it empty when I drive home, away to work, full when I come home,
really?
in
Wow.
a day.
So that's a really good way to look at it, I like that.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's pretty, that's,
Cause we
one
have,
day, I've seen it,
well, how about we look at,
multiple times.
I've seen,
we have
I've been keeping eyes on it lately and it's
we have actual numbers.
that way.
well, think of it
Wait,
this
wait.
way, whatever we put on it as a cost,
We have actual
we're not
numbers. that
forcing
Kimball
anybody to do
put
that,
together.
if they think it's too
We
much
have-
money,
we
then
should
just don't
know how
dump
much
there.
it's costing,
Yeah,
So
right?
are we talking
So how-
$500
We have
bucks?
actual numbers
$1,000
from
bucks?
Kimball's,
I mean,
how much he spends to take care of that.
Who?
Mike
We have
Kimball
numbers from
sent us
last year of what
a
it, all
breakdown
the
on
sheets
how-
that he
on
gave
its
us, and how
cost.
much it costs for the year.
We should take that number and kind of use
well,
that to
what
kind
Gene's saying, say somebody plugs it in one day, the cost of a dozer and a man for what, half a day to push it or something?
3 or 4 hours normally is
Yeah.
what they're there or more.
That adds up really quick.
But I'm saying we have actual numbers
Yep.
for about a year's time now for our annual costs. So
Oh,
we
that's
can kind of
true.
use that to help us towards
I
the
just,
rate.
I mean,
I don't wanna
I don't,
I don't think
pick
we're gonna
I don't know if
commercial
that's-
guys, but I don't want
I don't know if that's worth our time, really, figuring all that out. I mean, what are you talking, there's 3 guys who are gonna get this, 4?
Yeah, I agree, yeah.
Well, they ain't gonna pay $5,000 apiece.
I'm not suggesting that either. I'm saying we lose money at,
Yeah, I know,
At the
I
transfer
think
station.
that,
I mean, here's the.
some of these guys are small businesses and they're taxpayers too, and I understand the situation at hand, but I was thinking more along what you were saying to begin with, $100, $200, $250, I don't know.
I mean, it's only for a year, and if it creates a problem, we can raise it after a year. Cause you say, it's already happening.
Yep.
The only way that we're gonna be able to verify if it came from, say the wood comes from Clayton, right? That's just gonna be based on suspicion.
That's already happening, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, back, a few years back, when we were watching this situation, we were getting phone calls, we were having town employees, we were having other people talk about big trucks loaded of wood coming down Route 12. And sometimes it was a board member, sometimes it was other people who'd go over and find out, and sure as heck, coming from someplace else. Obviously, that isn't the way to try to patrol this thing, you know.
But
I think
it really is the only way,
Yeah. Oh,
right? I mean,
Well,
so you
yeah.
see it, right? That
It's
we
the
can go
only way-
verify it on camera, like Ronnie said, that it was actually dumped, and that someone probably knows where it's from, you go find out.
yeah. I mean, the only other situation, which I don't think makes sense myself, unless anybody has any better ideas, is putting a person there,
Yeah,
Oh,
in
no
charge
way.
per load, but
right? Okay, that's why I threw you guys that number with the payroll on it and a couple other things, I figured that would,
camera would equal a person.
yeah.
I think we just camera it and community watch. I don't know if we're gonna, do we gotta pass a local law? What happens, hypothetically, that is the situation,
Yeah.
okay?
I think so, yeah.
Some contractor from wherever comes and dumps. There's gotta be a fine.
Some
Yeah.
teeth for it.
There's gotta be some teeth.
Yeah.
That's the number that I would make exorbitantly high.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
That's the
I
one
totally agree.
that's the one that you want high.
Yeah, especially, you know, and I meant to put on here, obviously, for enforcement and fines and any type of procedure, local law's gotta accompany this too.
yeah.
I think it can be pretty basic.
I think so, too,
Pretty
yeah.
simple with local law.
So how much do we charge for a local, or a commercial permit to do, how much do we charge for a commercial permit for work done in the town of Alexandria? Be good for a year? We start with
I mean,
$100?
I had been thinking the $500 figure or more, but I understand what you guys are saying, I'm, you know, I
I got
guess
some small operators
couple hundred,
that
yeah.
don't have a lot of money.
As Sean said, a small operator, and
$250. I don't know, let's
Yeah.
start there and see.
sure, start there and
250,
Yeah.
that's as far as I'd be willing to go.
I'm sorry?
250 is about as far as I'd be willing to go.
Yeah. Okay,
But then, like you say too, like the hammer with the fine, you do something stupid,
That's where the hammer really comes
Yeah.
out, I think.
yeah,
So Sandy, I'm gonna get with you, and we're gonna create a little, like I did for the transfer site, we'll create a permit application. We do have stickers out there, we probably should give them a card, we should give them a couple forms of something that they've paid it, right? Or no?
It's just a sticker that does it.
I'm gonna be going to that I'm gonna be going to that thing, when somebody calls and says there's a commercial truck going there with loaded, you gotta go there. If I don't know the guy, well, whatever,
I mean, listen, that's pretty much how it's gonna
And-
be.
and the other
If you're
thing is-
not
the
around,
other thing you
someone
said, there's only
calls
3 or
me,
4.
Mike Tibbles is driving by, the guys are over there.
Yes, they are.
All the time, like, a lot.
yeah.
At least 2 times a week I've seen lately.
I mean, if I'm a
they
contractor,
drive by almost every single morning on their route.
Yeah, but they'll drive by, yeah.
if I'm a contractor and I get a receipt from the town of Alexandria that I got this permit or whatever, I'm gonna make copies and put it in all my trucks. And then if somebody like you comes there, oh, let me get my glove compartment, here you go.
That would be the right way to do it.
Yeah,
Yep. And that's all we need.
just simple.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the more I think about it, you're saying there probably are only gonna be X amount, so it's not gonna be a huge,
No,
No.
yeah.
so you wanna put something together for next Wednesday, not Friday, Wednesday, 4 o'clock, yeah. short meeting.
I won't be here,
We'll have you on the phone.
probably.
So we're not gonna do a motion now, we'll,
We can, if you want.
I was gonna say, we can do a commercial pricing permit right now. You comfortable with that?
We ought to incorporate, like, we should have a local law to go along with it and start that whole,
Okay, we'll wait a week and I'll work on that local law so we can put it all together.
What did we do for, the transfer site for out of town users?
$50.
No, I mean, we must have had some kind of law or resolution or something to do that. I think we just, something very similar to that, just copy it and just change a few words.
Yeah.
the difference here though, this is unattended, and, I mean, up there,
No, I understand.
Yeah, I'm just
the
saying
same
that-
concept.
yeah, concept of the permit would be the same, but the thing is, we're looking for somebody dumping something that we can basically find them, I guess, get some money from them.
How about the everyday taxpayer that is going up there with his little bit of brush from his yard and he dumps something wrong? This pertains to him too, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's where the sign comes in, it
Well, if
already
you're
says,
dumping garbage and everything else that we've been dealing with,
That's
yeah,
ridiculous.
you're gonna get fined,
yeah,
period.
yeah,
We should make that a big
Make it all
hammer, we should
encompassing.
make that a big hammer too.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
yeah.
that needs to be a
picture you
bold
showed
print.
there the other day, you'd love to catch somebody.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So who was it? You talked to the Aquamania crew. He
Yep.
called me about, as I told everybody, he called me about 4, 5, 6 hours later and apologized.
Oh, they found out where it came from.
No, I caught Aquamania, they're dumping stuff they weren't supposed to.
Yeah, the trucks and Alchemania on the side.
And it's stuff other than what the sign says in great big letters? What'd the person say?
They told me to dump it here.
Okay.
Probably been doing it.
So I went there 2 days before
I
that.
think they could afford the dump bill, Mike Fayette storing his boat up there.
Yeah, that's
in the
true.
winter.
That's right. That's right.
Thank you.
Let's still think about that.
No, yeah. Yep.
What was I gonna say?
Yeah, there you go, yeah. You think about it 10 minutes from now, that's what usually happens to me, 9 if I'm lucky.
Okay, so we're all set. We're waiting for Rob We're gonna deal with Rob on the district. We're gonna deal with what we just talked about, the commercial license. I've gotta do a, local law. I'll be sending around. And I'm waiting, by next Wednesday, hopefully I'll have prices on systems for the 2 places,
That'd be
camera
great.
systems.
I'll make a motion to adjourn our meeting
Hold on,
to
not yet. Do you wanna call Castle Cable and see if those bids for the heat sensors and everything still are honored? Cause they were only 30-day bids, and I'm sure we're past that now.
Yeah, but I sent the acknowledgement that, yes, we took it. I sent it.
To Castle Cable,
Citizen Steve, yeah.
Citizens, yeah?
Yeah.
You sent the acknowledgement?
Mike brought a paper in here a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
2, 3 weeks ago, and it was an acknowledgement of the pricing and needed my signature on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
The pricing in the bid opening was $5,900. The pricing on this piece of paper that he needed was $6,100, okay, roughly.
Okay.
Okay, so I corrected that pricing, and I put a copy of our town minutes there that showed what we passed, meaning the dollar amount, $5,900. And I signed the agreement for the $5,900. I never heard from him.
Okay, so we should reach out to them and see what's going on.
Yeah.
So that's why I kinda wanted to ask Mike what
I
was
could have
going
followed
on.
up with a phone call.
Or if they'd been there.
Nope, nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
So we should follow up on that with them and see what's going on.
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
Now you can go ahead, Ron.
Thank you. I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting to Wednesday, May 3rd, 2023 at 4 p.m. For a resolution to form the Route 12 Sewer District and any other town business, which will carte blanche to talk about any of the other stuff.
Motion by Ron, second.
Yep.
Second by Gene. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, none.
All right.
I gotta
4:42.
I gotta turn that off, the alarm thing off, and tell you something.
We're fourth in our